Disney Dreamlight Valley has been out in early access for a little more than a month now, which has left many of us, myself included, totally caught up with not much to do. The good news is, Dreamlight's first free major content update just dropped. So whether you've got everything maxed out or you're brand new to the game, this latest update has something for everyone to look forward to. Of course, there's the new characters and quests, and we'll talk about those soon, but perhaps the unsung hero of this update are all the bug fixes and optimization that came with it. Stability and performance improvements for the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch should see the game running smoother with less crashes and errors, improved textures on the PlayStation 4, and improved interior lighting all around. Some of Dreamlight's worst quest progression bugs have been squashed, and features like furniture edit mode and even some of the game's collectibles have seen various bug fixes as well. It's a big patch that covers a lot of ground, and chances are, if you've experienced one issue or another, there's probably a fix for it in here. But it's not all bug fixes and optimization. This update brings some new quality of life changes and new seasonal content to chase via the event pass. It is a shame that most of these items are locked behind a premium currency, but there's still a few cool spooky themed items available for everyone, as well as new Halloween craftables at the crafting bench. Photo mode gets the most love here though, with an entire rework, giving you options for poses, expressions, filters, frames, and more. The whole photo mode UI has been streamlined and gives you more control than before, which is a great addition. But the biggest thing that came with this update, the headline content and star of the show, Scar from The Lion King, makes his debut in the Valley. He's a new companion character, which means you'll be able to hang out with him and give him stuff to do. He'll have his very own quest line and levels to progress, so unlike Ariel and Ursula, he's not useless. With Scar comes the Vitalis Mines, a whole new area beneath the sunlit plateau, complete with chest spawns and unique area resources like crystals and gemstones. I didn't expect these mines to be as big as they are, or to have unique resources attached to them. And despite the camera getting a little cramped in this space, I still think it's a cool addition to the game nonetheless. Scar also opens up the continuation of the main story, which sees you trying to return the sunlit plateau to its former glory. Once you get to a certain point in the quest, it time gates you and says it might take a few days to progress, and there's a few vague quest steps leading up to that point, so I thought I'd throw in a few tips to help anyone that might get stuck. The first tip is how to cook up some extra fizzy root beer. The game gives you the recipe for regular root beer, but doesn't really tell you how to make the extra fizzy kind you'll need to progress this quest. And honestly, it's super simple. You should have found the root beer recipe, the sparkling candy, and the dried ginger by now, and those should be in your inventory. All you need to do is use the regular root beer recipe of 1 ginger, 1 vanilla, and 1 sugarcane, but instead of using normal ginger, make sure you're using the special quest item dried ginger from your inventory instead. This should get you that extra fizzy goodness and on to the next quest. Eventually you hit a part of the main quest line that asks you to find 10 rich soil, among other things, to craft a special elixir. Rich soil isn't something we've ever needed before, and when you check the in-game collections tab, it doesn't really tell you specifically how to get it. The good news is that getting rich soil is pretty simple. The bad news is that it could take you a while depending on how you do it to get all 10 pieces. Rich soil is a rare item that sometimes drops when you harvest crops, but it's really rare, so unless you already got a few hundred crops ready to go, you'll need to actually plant some more just for this quest. My suggestion is to buy a stack or two of wheat seeds from Goofy in the meadows and just plant them, a stack at a time. Wheat grows super fast, so you should be able to use that to your advantage and maximize the number of crops you're harvesting in the shortest amount of time, which means you can farm those 10 rich soil relatively quickly. It took me about 150 wheat harvests to get all 10, which might sound like a lot, but the whole thing took maybe 15 minutes and cost me only 200 gold, so it was totally worth it. I've gotten as far as I can go in this new update so far. As I mentioned before, the main story quest has a time gate of sorts in place, and for some reason, Scar's friendship quest won't unlock for me, despite having met all the listed requirements for it in the quest log. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if I need to progress the main story more to gain access, but in any case, we'll know soon enough. So far anyway, the Scar's Kingdom update for Dreamlight Valley has added a lot more than I initially thought it would, with solid new content, areas, and story, pages of fixes, optimization, and improvements, and it sets the bar pretty high for whatever they've got planned next. For more Disney Dreamlight Valley and everything else gaming, keep it right here on IGN.